Hey there everyone, welcome back. Today I want to take you with me while I build a window bench for my kitchen area. It's gonna be under this window that I'm sitting at right now. I have a bench here, but the bench I wanna build is actually gonna be more of a built-in bench with storage. So that way I have some extra storage in my kitchen, places to store appliances, or just other items I need to store. So I want to take you along to share that with you. If you are new to my channel and you like this type of content, make sure to stick around by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you never miss out on a new video. Okay, let's get started. All right, so here is the space. I have a bench here now, and it was a bench from Walmart. It's like a wood bench and it's kind of tearing up. So I have a few things to deal with the new bench. I need to figure out how to reroute this vent. And then also there's an outlet there, but that's not as much of a major deal as the vent is. So I also want to make sure that this cabinet can be open. So the bench cannot be any larger than what the current bench is right there. So it's about 4 feet long and 20 inches or so wide. So that's what I'm going to stick with. All right, so I'm going to get started by removing everything from the area so that I can start building. The first thing I need to do is I need to remove the baseboard against the wall so that way my bench looks built in and it sits up close to the wall. So to remove my baseboard, instead of taking the whole piece of baseboard off, I'm going to use my Dremel tool and I'm just going to cut into the baseboard in the quarter round and take that piece out. So I measured the length of what my bench is going to be, which is 4 feet, and then I added an inch on each side to account for the shiplap that's going to be on the bench for the finish, and then I just removed the baseboard from the wall. Now I'm going to build the support system for my bench. So I'm going to use 2x4s for this, and I am just going to cut 4 4-foot pieces, and then I'm also going to cut 6 18-inch pieces. The sizes of the 2x4s are going to differ depending on the size of your bench, so you just need to measure to make sure what size bench you would like. And then I am going to cut into one of the 2x4s that's going to be attached to the wall, and that's because this is where my outlet is going to be. So I want to make sure that we can still have access to the outlet and the 2x4 doesn't cover it up, but it's just the perfect height for what I want my bench to be at, where that outlet is. So I had to use my jigsaw to cut that out. Now I'm going to go ahead and start putting the pieces together. So I just took 2 of the 18-inch pieces and attached them on each side of a 4-foot piece with some screws and my drill. And then I also attached a support piece in the middle of this as well. Then I'm also going to do another one of these for the bottom support. So it's going to be the same exact setup here, 2 18-inch pieces on each end and then 1 in the middle. So these 2 pieces that I built are going to be the top and the bottom support to my bench. So I'm going to attach these to the wall. I want to make sure that I attach these to the studs. So I make sure to mark where the studs are, where my bench is going to be. And then I just use some screws to attach it. The top one, I want to make sure that I get it level. So I used a level for that and had my husband help me hold it in place to make sure that I get it into those studs. All right, so I have 2 4-foot 2x4s left that I have cut, and those are going to go on the front of each of these boxes that I built that are attached to the wall to finish them off. I just used screws and I just used my level to make sure that that top one was sitting level and flush with the other 2x4. So obviously I need some support in between my structures that I built to hold everything up. So I cut another 2x4 into 8 pieces, and those pieces measured in between each of those 2x4s. And I'm just gonna attach them in between just with some screws, and I'm just going to screw down diagonally into the bottom 2x4 and up diagonally into the top 2x4s. Now you can definitely use a Craig drill for this, but you're not going to see these, so it doesn't make a difference for me. You can see that it's sturdy. I'm sitting on it, I'm putting my full body weight, and it works perfectly. Now it's time to put the surround on it. So for the surround, I'm gonna use some shiplap panels that you can get from Home Depot. I'll link those linked down below in the description box because they're pretty affordable if you're wanting to do a wall or something like that. I've used them for other projects. So I'm just gonna cut out a panel for the front and then 2 panels for the side. Now I need to tackle this vent, and I went to Home Depot and searched and searched and searched, and I picked up 2 of these pieces. So one obviously is going to fit inside the vent, and the other one is going to come out of the side of the bench. I'm gonna put it out the side of the bench instead of out the front of the bench, just because you won't be able to notice it on the side, and I don't wanna see a vent on the front of my bench as soon as you walk in. So I'm going with it on the side, and I'm just gonna trace that vent piece out onto the shiplap, and I'm gonna use my jigsaw to cut out that piece. Now that the hole is cut out in the shiplap, I am going to go ahead and just fit that vent right inside that hole, and I just wanna make sure that it has a snug fit so that it doesn't fall out. And then I can place my piece of shiplap on the side of my frame there with the vent coming out the one side. So I spent a lot of time in Home Depot trying to figure out this whole redirecting these vents and trying to figure out how to attach these 2 vents together. So I finally landed on a dryer vent because it was the most flexible. So I was just able to cut it down to size and attach it to each side of the vent using some duct tape. Now this isn't the greatest option, but it does direct the flow of air out of the bench, so it works. The downside of it is that I'm losing a lot of space inside the bench for storage. So unfortunately, that's just how it has to be for now. Maybe in the future, I will be able to find something more of a space saver to redirect these vents, but for now, this works out fine. Once everything was attached, I was able to put the register cover on the outside of the bench flush with the shiplap. Now that the vent is taken care of, I can go ahead and attach my shiplap panels to the side of my frames. And then I had some corner molding and some other molding, and I'm just gonna attach that to the top and the bottom and the corners of the piece with my nail gun. Now to paint my bench, I'm gonna use this color called Grandma's Linen. It's like a gray-green color. I really love it, and I used it for my laundry room, and I have some in our hall bathroom on some shiplap in there. And I love the color, but I'm not sure it works in the kitchen on this bench. Like I think it does, and it brings in some color to my kitchen in this area because everything's kind of black and white and monotone. So I don't know. I mean, it's just paint, so I can change it if I don't like it later on. But I went ahead and painted it green anyways. So next I'm going to work on the top for my bench. So the top, I'm going to use a 1x6 board and also a 1x16 inch board. And I just stained both those pieces with some American walnut stain, which that color matches all of the rest of the wood in my house, so it works perfectly. All right, so now I'm gonna attach my top pieces to my bench. So I'm just going to put that 1x6 in the back there against the wall. And then the 1x16 is going to be the front. That's going to be the lid. So I just placed that in line on top of the bench. And then I'm going to attach that 1x6 piece with my nail gun. Lastly, I just needed to attach the hinges that I got from Home Depot to the top of the bench to make my lid. So I just attached those with some screws in between the 1x6 and the 1x16. And that gave me the perfect lid for my bench and finished it off nicely. Here's what the space looked like before. And here's the after. I think I might add a small round table and a couple chairs to make a perfect breakfast nook. I do love how this bench turned out, and even though it didn't give me as much storage as I anticipated, a little bit of storage is better than none. And I'm pretty proud of myself for rerouting that vent to the side there. It worked out perfectly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Kitty kitties. Do you approve of the new bench? Smokey, do you like it? Do you like it, Bandit?